Hello, this is Manesh Patel from IchimokuTrade.com. Today is July 20th, 2014. This is our weekly Ichimoku analysis for the futures market, where we'll cover everything from commodity futures to metals to grains to gasoline to heating oil and so forth. This is our normal disclaimer here, if it shows up, to state this is for education use only. We're not soliciting you to buy or sell any particular instrument. If you do so, you're doing that at your own risk. All the charts you're going to see are basically from TradeStation. Here are our contact details here, where you could email us at info@eiicapital.com, or you could call any of our global office locations here, or you could go to our website here, where you could access any of our multiple time frame email alerts, heat maps, scanners. What else are there? Free videos, free articles, blogs, Facebook feed, Twitter feed, and so forth. If you're new to the website, you can sign up for a free 30-minute session where you could talk to one of our tech support people one-on-one, and they'll go for everything on the website and even explain our rating system, which is used for the multiple time frame email alerts, heat maps, and scanners. Okay. Let's go straight to TradeStation, and let's go looking at futures, which are right here. Remember, on the left-hand side basically is the daily time frame. On the right-hand side is basically the weekly time frame here. So the first one we're going to go through is soybeans. You can see soybeans basically a nice bullish trend here, gone for a first major pullback. They've got two pullback levels, which is one basically 1067 and 1005. 1005 is the critical one, because this is going to dictate whether this sits there and starts entering a ugly consolidation pattern. But believe it or not, this 1067 is still the first major pullback. It got there very, very fast, which is unusual, so that may make this hesitate even more in going up. But this is its first major pullback, where it does have a high probability of going back up. As far as how far it goes up, we're not sure. Resistance levels we've marked up are basically here, and you can't even see them. Let's enlarge them. So 1145 is the first major resistance level. The most critical one is going to be 1202. Next you have is basically soybean oil. You can see soybean oil is basically bearish trending. Still has not gone for a major pullback at all. Broke the support level of 38.16, which is its resistance level now. So it has two resistance levels, 38.16 and 41.54. So this is basically bearish trending on both the daily and weekly time frames. That's interesting because no one's talking about this at all, and it's a nice live bearish trend as far as the commodity markets are concerned. Soybean meal. This is bullish trending here, and you could see basically it's trying to do its first major pullback, which we believe is going to be down to 336, and resistance is going to be 381. Hasn't quite got there yet, but you could see that this is a major pullback here, which is starting to look like a bearish trend here in the daily time frame. Next you have is corn. Corn is breaking down. Not a lot of people talking about this one either. So this is the interesting one here. So definitely be looking at meal. And this is basically going down. Resistance on this one's 426, but this is going down very, very strong for both the daily and weekly. Wheat also going down too. Very strong. It basically broke the support level of 569 and it's continuing to move down both on daily and weekly level as it trends. Oats here, really not doing anything. Bullish trend here, and then did a pullback. Still has not done a major pullback. The major pullback level is going to be about 319 and 1/8, which is pretty much got there once. We're looking for it to consolidate more, get to that bottom, and then possibly go up to about 356, which is going to be the critical level. If it breaks that top of the consolidation pattern, then it's got a high probability of retesting the high. But until we break out of this consolidation pattern, we're not going to know what it's going to do. Cocoa, bullish trending on both on the weekly. Hesitations on the weekly are causing this daily to be in a very funky trend, but the cocoa is still very strong bullish moving forward. Coffee, if you could see here, nice bullish trend here. Didn't really go up that much, believe it or not, because you kind of needed to go further away from the cloud, which it really didn't. It's going through trying to do its major pullback level. First support is going to be about 162.55. Next one's going to be 144.75. Resistance levels are going to be 170.76 and 174.41. Orange juice here, nothing really to talk about. This is one ugly pattern here. It looks like a pullback here on the weekly time frame, which is starting to look like a bearish trend here, but there's a lot of volatility in there. You can see from this big one red bar here. Support in this guy is going to be 147.35 and resistance is going to be 165. Rough rice, really not doing anything at all. Broke a support, which is now a major resistance at 13.843, and support is going to be 12.739. This does have a lot of momentum to the bearish side, so it possibly can break that 12.739. So definitely keep an eye on rough rice here to basically continue on with this nice little trend here on the daily, which will be a fresh new trend on the weekly. So this could really push forward down a lot, so keep an eye on that one. Sugar, bullish trend here, did a major pullback to a little about to 1950. Held it there at that resistance level, and now we're back here at 1691. Believe it or not, this has a lot of momentum still to the bearish side, so this possibly can sit there and broke lower. So I'll definitely keep an eye on sugar this week to see if there's any opportunities there for it to break that support and continue to move forward. Crude oil has been the most interesting one. That's the most talked about, especially with all the global events going on. However, there's nothing really going on in crude oil as far as the trend is concerned. This had a bullish trend on the daily. It did a major pullback to about 98, which is roughly. Did a pullback to about 97.81, held that level and gone back up. However, how far it goes up is going to be the most critical thing. We're at a major resistance level, which is 101.99, which may hold. We have to see. If it breaks that one, next one's going to be 103.59. But this basically is a one big wide range consolidation pattern, which looks like little trends on the lower time frame. As far as the longer term picture, it's one big ugly pattern. Natural gas here. This thing just doesn't want to know what it wants to do. Basically, bullish trend here. Gone for a major pullback. The major pullback level, believe it or not, is going to be the 33.715. If it breaks that, this thing's going to enter consolidation. But this is still bullish because this is just a pullback. Even though the daily looks like a bearish trend, if you look at the weekly, this is still a pullback for the bullish trend as long as it holds that support at 3.715. Okay, I know the daily looks bearish, but remember, pullbacks on the higher time frame look like trends on the lower time frame, so remember that as you move forward. Heating oil, really not doing much at all. It's just consolidation. You can see the support levels are 2.8157, 2.7840. Resistance level are going to be here. Let's do this, 2.8676 and 2.9615. Gasoline, really not doing anything at all. Trying to get down to a support level of 2.7970. Resistance is going to be 2.9053. Cotton, you can see cotton just sat there and started a nice little bearish trend on the daily time frame with volatility. But if you look at the weekly time frame, this is one big ugly pattern, believe it or not. So it is now trending on a weekly time frame, but it's trending within a consolidation pattern where it's trying to get to the bottom. Next support is basically going to be 66.46.44, but there's a nice little trend on the daily. Dollar futures, really not doing anything except consolidating between 79.97 and 80.73. However, due to all this price action here, a little more push up, if it breaks this resistance level, this is actually going to go for a ugly pullback level where it's going to go higher, where the dollar will get stronger, believe it or not, and possibly can get all the way up to 82.50. So we have to watch this one in the next couple of weeks. Feeder cattle, bullish trending basically on the daily and weekly. So there's nothing to talk about here because it's just trending up and up and up. Support on this one's going to be 206.66. Live cattle trending up. You could see here support level is going to be 146 and 155. Okay. And then you have lean hogs here. which are basically bullish trending here, doing a pullback to about 123.78. Resistance is going to be 133.87. But you can see this is an ugly pullback here, because look at this daily time frame. It looks very, very ugly. So that's not even worth looking at, especially when you got feeder cattle and lime cattle. Next you've got is basically 2-year Treasury notes. Really not doing much. It's still bullish trending, but it's in a consolidation pattern between 109, 18.5 and 109, 25.7. Next you have your 5-year Treasury notes. Same thing. It's still bullish trending, but consolidating. Support on this one's going to be about, what is this level? 118, 20.7 and 119.17. Then you have your 10-year, and this looks a little more stronger than the others, believe it or not. So this right here, its resistance level is 125.27, 126.07. Support is 123.25, 123.02. And then you have your 30-year, which is here. And believe it or not, this looks very, very clean and a lot more momentum. So this looks a lot more bullish, if you can see from the daily time frame here for the 30-year compared to all the others. And you can see the next resistance level is 139, 23, and 32s. But let me flip back to these, and you can see the daily time frame here. This looks a little choppy. Right here, this is a 5-year. That's very, look at how this is in the cloud. And then basically right here, this one is in the cloud too. So if you look at the 30-year, this is above the cloud and at a resistance and broke it once. So this is a lot more bullish compared to the other future products here for the bonds / notes. Okay, so you could do pairs trading if you want between these products, and just make sure you're bullish on the 30-year. Next, we're going to go for metals. If you look at the metals, the first one's going to be platinum. Really got to a resistance level of 1529. Bounce off that guy. It's just consolidating between 1529 and 1442. Nothing exciting at all. Gold, we've been talking about this on Twitter. It held the 1287.85 level, broke the 1307, which is kind of being stuck at, and got to another level of 1349, which is the next major resistance level. If it breaks that, we'll get to 1401. Gold basically, but to the end of this year is going to consolidate, but it should sit there and consolidate to the top of the range, which is at 1401. So we're looking for it to at least get to 1401 by the end of this year, and maybe next year for it to start breaking out, but we'll have to wait and see. But right now it's still bearish, but it's basically doing pullbacks all the way up in an ugly consolidation pattern. Next, silver. Same scenario. This is weaker than gold, so you can still play gold bullish and silver bearish. And you can see here from this chart here, and it's the largest. You can see the support resistance levels at support is 20.500. Next one's 20.159. Resistance is going to be 21.924 and 22.156. And lastly, we have copper. Really not doing anything. Major resistance 3.3476. Support is going to be 3.1483 and 3.0988. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to contact us here at any of our information located here. Thank you.